Okay, who do we have for today? Springfowl LLC. All right, this looks like a good victim for today. The mission is to steal their code, try and spray. Springfowl LLC, you are about to have a very, very bad day. Okay, so what do I know about them? They're a Windows-only shop, which makes my life easy. It means that I'm not going to have to redo any of my tools or redo any of my infrastructure. And I'm going after their code server. So, if I'm going to go after their code server, I might as well just do a full domain compromise. Now, I'm going to need to get in, and that, let's see, okay. I'm definitely going to use phishing. Phishing works all the time. I can always get someone to click on my email and install my malware. Now, once I'm in, I am going to have to persist. Well, I mean, that's assuming they can actually find me, which I wouldn't count on. And I'm also going to have to do some discovery of some other systems so that I can get some footholds. And then, once I'm here, thinking credential access for some lateral movement, that always works. And finally, once I've gotten to there, all I have left to do is compromise the domain, exfil the code, and my job is done for the day. So, now let's get started. This actually matters. It's like a plus 20. Okay, so phishing emails, off you go. Now we just need to wait for one unlucky person to fall for it. And there we go. I've got my malware installed, perfect. Now, this means my back doors are in place, my tools are in place, so thinking I'm gonna look for some low-hanging fruit, maybe some application servers. So let's kick off a port scan for that, and we'll look for 80, 88, and 443. All right, now while that's running, actually, I'm gonna do some Active Directory recon. That will definitely come in handy for me later when I'm trying to figure out what has permissions on the system that I can use. All right, perfect. The port scan has found me a Tomcat server. Now to kick off a brute force login for this. And we just need to wait for that to come back. All right, perfect. I am in. Now I just need to upload my web shell. Oh, you know what? I actually also need to check what I'm running as. All right, perfect. So now what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna dump the credentials from memory. I think I need to focus on a Windows admin account, and it looks like there's one there, so let's get working on cracking that hash.
Lago blanco, lago negro. Hello? Hello? Hey, Tony. Yeah, it's me. How you doing? All good? Yeah. Oh, come on. Don't go all serious on me now. Yeah. I already took care of all those alerts yesterday. Yeah, there was all of them false positives. There were 20 of them, actually. Nothing to worry about. Yeah. Everything is under control. Yeah. Nothing. Yeah, today, I just got into work. There was a huge traffic jam at the highway, so maybe I should check right now what my dashboard looks like, what's next in queue. Oh my gosh, 1,500 alerts. I'm sorry, Tony, lots of work. I gotta go. Okay, talk to you later. Cheers, bye. Okay, what do I have here? Okay, what I see, it's a port scan alert. Okay, one of those. Yeah, I know them. Maybe it's a false positive, or maybe not, who knows? So let's get into investigating this one right away. Okay, what I'm looking here, I'm looking at the source. I'm looking at the destination, okay. Okay, wow. I know what these are. This is David Fuerte's vulnerability scanners. Oh my gosh, I really need to quiet this down big time. Okay, guys, let me just mark it as complete and flag it. And let's move on to the next one. Hopefully it's not a board scam alert. So what do we have next in line? It's a user that reported phishing email. That looks interesting. Okay, so let me go into that one right now. I'm going to investigate it. So it's good that at least the user reported it. So let me jump first into the email and see what we get here. All right, so I'm going to investigate it now, getting the email, grabbing the email, the header. All right, so now I need to log into a bunch of tools to take care of this. First one, I need to jump into the MX toolbox, looking at the source. Well, it sounds interesting. Source IP address is for Turkmenistan. IRS report, tax report coming for Turkmenistan. It looks fishy, yeah, definitely. Okay, let me check. What do we get from VirusTotal? All right, checking the source IP address in VirusTotal. No results. Well, that's pretty interesting. All right, point noted. What's next? I need to jump also into the endpoint incident and response tool just to be sure that everything went well with the user and he didn't click. So here I am. I'm looking at the processes and the files and the registries. All looks good. Oh no, 9:08 a.m. He clicked, downloaded, and executed. Why? Why is it always happening? They always do it. All right. No panic. So I now just need to get off of these email templates that I need to type in order to be sure that containment takes place, and I take this machine down. So type. All right. Hopefully containment is in progress. And where else? Yeah, the source IP address. It was announced, so I am going to report it back to Wildfire so that it's prevented henceforth. And of course, last but not least, I need to go back into the ticketing system and close the ticket. Phew, okay, all right. It only took me 25 minutes, cool.
All right, I've got my password cracked, and it is the amazing password of Springfell123. Could guess that. That was a bit of a waste of time, but if they're using that password here, they are probably using it at other systems on the network. So let's go ahead and kick off a password spray from the Tomcat server and see what we find. Oh man, my day just keeps getting better. Clear text credentials in memory, thank you very much. All right, well, now we're gonna take those and we will do yet another password spray, and let's see what we can find from this one. Man, my day just keeps getting better. A clear text service account password. Really, this is almost going too well for me. Okay, you know what? And actually, I think I remember seeing this service account. I'm pretty sure it was in my directive Recon for the directory, and I think it was actually a Windows domain admin account, which would be amazing for me. Yep, I'm absolutely right. That is perfect. So now all I need to do is log into the domain controller and dump some hashes. Here I think I'm going to have to look for an engineer's password. They're probably going to have access to the code server. And this one looks likely. All right, let's get cracking.
All right, what do we have next in line? Okay, it says Active Directory, Windows admin credentials. Let me just investigate that one. All right, I'm looking at the source. Oh, wait a second. Did I just get another 2 high alerts? User authentication failed? Please be a bunch full of forgetful users. All right, I need to jump into this one right now. Okay, what I'm doing now, yeah, I'm looking at the source, destination. Wait a second, this is a Tomcat server? That's really weird. I never saw this behavior in my network before. What is a Tomcat server trying to fail login against 3 different machines? That's strange. Maybe I should quickly look into the network activity around the same time frame. So I'm connecting right now to my network tool, running the query, and here we are. Wait, what do you see? Oh my gosh, there were 7 machines involved in the same time frame? Come on, why was somebody trying to log in from the Tomcat server and got hits fail only on 3 of them? Oops, that looks to me like a lateral movement attack. Okay, no panic, Jesus. Let's just jump into the Tomcat server and investigate that one.
All right, that is it. Game over, Springfell LLC. I have your engineer's password. Now, all I need to do is to log into the code server. Perfect. Exfil your code. Thank you very, very much. Springfell, it has been an absolute pleasure doing business with you. And as for your code, that's off to Pastebin.
All right, so here I am connecting to the Tomcat server. Yeah, jumping into the endpoint tool, that's fine. Hey, all right. Hey, wait. Did I just receive another high alert? Come on, what's this? Suspicious service account? Ah, come on. Yeah, I got a lot of those coming from the IT admins when they are running their stuff in my environment. No, wait a second. RDP to domain controller? Oh my gosh, now I'm starting to sweat. Okay, right, take it easy, calm down. Okay, so I need to investigate this one right now, quickly. Right, yeah, what's next? It's the source, it's the destination. All right, yes, here I am. What's next? What am I hearing? What? Source code from Pastebin? What's going on? Am I bold? Am I on fire? What's going on?
Hey, Jesus. Hey, Jesus. Over
What?
here. Hi.
Hello?
That was me.
Would you?
Yep.
Oh my God, for real? You, or internal red team?
Yep.
Come on, I thought I was gonna lose my job. And not to self. What did you say to the god of losing jobs? Not today.
So that's the kind of nightmare scenario that really faces everyone in this room. Now, as a red teamer, my job is to mimic attackers as closely as possible. So I started out this scenario knowing about as much as a typical attacker would, which is what I can find on Google, and then with as much network access as an attacker would have, which is none. Despite that, I was able to do a full domain compromise and exfiltrate their code, which, no matter how you look at it, was not an ideal outcome. And I know we're all wondering what was going on in the socket this time. Why weren't they able to stop me? Jesus, what went wrong?
Okay, Jen, so what went wrong is what always goes wrong in the life of a SOC engineer. Basically, guys, you probably realize that the time it took me to investigate all the events, and not to mention that there was a huge amount of them, more than 1,500, it was completely unreasonable. Also, the complexity involved with each one of the investigation was definitely too much. And what do I mean when I'm talking about complexity? Basically, I'm talking about being able to reduce the amount of tools that I have to use. There were so many tools that I need to jump back and forth. Also, reduce the amount of manual correlation, pivoting, all that stuff that I had to do in order to change that. And finally, of course, we need to take care also of the alert fatigue. There were so many alerts that I had to look at the same time that was almost impossible for me to keep up pace. Not to mention that, as you probably realize, I was taking care and investigating and even completing alerts that were not related at all with the attack that was already going underway.
Okay, that sounds kind of crazy. So I want to dig into this a little bit more. Let's walk through what I did and the alerts and triaging that you did and see where the overlaps were. So I started off with a phishing email.
Wait a second. I saw a phishing email and I even contained it. It said something like a tax IRS report in the subject attached, something like that. Was that you?
Oh, no. Mine said invitation to a private conference in Bora Bora.
All right, that explains it, because I contained the other one. So that, I was wondering how you ever got your hands into my code server. So that, yeah, that's a good reason, of course.
Okay, so I won't even ask you about the code scans, because even I know how noisy those are. But you should have gotten an alert when I did that password spray from the Tomcat server. Did you see that?
Yeah, actually, I received 2 of them. They were zero of alerts coming from the Active Directory logs, something like user authentication failed, and the problem is that I need to correlate all that. So basically, when I look at the source, make all the lookups, I realized that I had this Tomcat server trying to talk with another 3 machines, which I never saw in my network before. That was a really weird behavior. And then I jump into the network tool, trying to search for the logs around all the network activity in that time frame, finding that there were other machines, and of course, is when I first got my intuition of lateral movement attack. But since I want to corroborate there further, I went back again into my Active Directory, 0f logs. I reviewed a bunch of them, trying to find out all the assets. And finally, I jumped into the Tomcat endpoint using my incident and response tool. And this is when I found the file that you were using there. It was a really weird Word file called something like c.word, something like that. Was that you?
Oh, yeah, that one was mine.
OK, good.
So this seems, let's try again. So we didn't get that part. How about when I kicked off that password spray the second time? It should have gone faster, right? Because now you're looking at it again.
Yeah, that's a very good question, and this is definitely what you would have thought. But in reality, the problem, guys, is that it's the same process all over and over again. I'm not learning anything from that, and my systems are not allowing me to automate anything at this point in time. So basically, and very quickly, that means that I need to, again, look into all the assets, look into the network, correlate all the logs, and finally, of course, invest or waste some time also into the endpoints, trying to find something similar to what I just saw in the previous alert.
OK, so it's depressing. I'm not going to give up yet, though. Now, my RDP connection from the endpoint to the domain controller, that should have been a massive red flag for you. Did you see that?
Yeah, actually I did it. I have to admit that upon a first glance, I was a bit confused because I saw it was a service account. And you know, guys, I am receiving a lot of false positive alerts around service accounts when the IT admins are running their cron jobs into my environment. However, when I realized that it was RDP into domain controller is when I first realized and I first got my first sign of panic attack. But even I never complete that investigation. And you know what? Because by that time, you already got your hands into my code. It was already exfiltrated. However, if I wanted to investigate that alert, this is how it will look like. So let me just walk you through the whole process, which is pretty similar to what we saw before. I need to collect all the assets, make all the lookups, find that this is the Tomcat server that is getting infected, then jumping into the network, trying to figure out what is the command and control connection that you are using for establishing persistency. And once that I am here, I need to jump into the endpoints, trying to find the spear phishing attachment that you were using to come in. And once that I found out, I am in front of my patient 0, and it's only here, at this moment in time, when I can really stop you. But you know, I never did this because by this time frame, I was already having nightmares about being on the daily news.
Yeah, I'm sorry about that, Jesus. I wasn't actually trying to cause a panic attack for you. So that just seems kind of like a lot of work, and I can't really wrap my head around it. So let's see if I understand all of the work that you had to do. So to actually investigate what I was doing and stop me, you had to do this, and then you had to do this, and then this, and then that. That is just, that's totally unreasonable. How are you ever going to manage to keep pace with me, let alone stop me?
Yeah, again, a very good point. So as a SOX engineer, if I had a wish list, it would be only three very simple things. First off, reduce the alert fatigue, the amount of alerts that I need to take care of. Secondly, reduce the amount of manual correlation, pivoting, going back and forth that I have to take care of. And thirdly, if I am ever faced with a real incident, what I'm always looking for, of course, is faster containment and faster remediation.
Okay, so how about we take this craziness that we currently have up and we move it into the ideal state. So this means now your traffic analysis and correlation is going to be automated. So that means that you should only have gotten 2 alerts, one for the C2 activity and one for the lateral movement, and those are really what you needed to understand what was going on here. Now, when you throw in that third piece of containment, where you can find me and kick me out before I can accomplish my goal, that's amazing. How long has this been going on?
Well, I have good news, Jen, here. The wheels are already in motion towards reaching this desired state that you are seeing here, guys. And I have to tell you that it has been a really, really very exciting trip for everyone at Palo Alto Networks, because as you can imagine, we are first testing everything that we are getting out of the door before we release it to the customers. In this case, we were testing, of course, the XDR. And first, we roll up all the XDR incident and response part of the product inside our SOC. And as soon as we deploy it, we immediately realized that the amount of coverage and visibility that we were getting out of it was far beyond what we were expecting, and of course, definitely what we had before. Apart from that, it's also very important to take into consideration that taking care of the lateral movement attacks, this is something very, very difficult, including the one that you used today. Why? Because humans are not really built to fight against anomalies, especially in the absence of baselines. And this is exactly where the second part of Cortex XDR kicks in. So basically, the analytics part of it, it's taking care of, through machine learning algorithms, establishing all these baselines, finding all the relationships between all the peers in your network, and of course, once that this process has been completed, firing up alerts once we detect any kind of anomaly. Last but not least, the third piece to fall in place is, of course, our security orchestration and automation tool. Of course, guys, I'm talking about the MISTO. If all the containment, everything related to the automated playbooks, it's going to take care of all the automation that you are looking here in this desired workflow.
That sounds awesome. So I have a great idea. How about we replay the scenario we just did, but this time we use all of this automation, and we'll see if this time you can stop me. What do you think?
Challenge accepted.
All right. So we are going to kick things off as we started last time. I'm going to send a spear phishing email. And then my lovely user will click on it and install my malware.
Wait a second. Sorry, I'm getting here behavioral indicator of compromise alert coming from Cortex XDR incident and response. Actually, it's a high alert. And of course, I have my automation in place through a playbook in the MISTO, which actually it's running, so containment is in progress. Ooh, I'm catching up.
Whatever. In progress means absolutely nothing, because I've already discovered your
No, sorry to interrupt you again. Discovery, definitely an abnormality. Clearly, it's an anomaly. Yeah, and you see what? Analytics now, the analytics part of the tool, so this is related to everything I mentioned before regarding machine learning and detecting anomaly traffic on the network, has just fired up an alert, which of course is giving much more context to me.
All right, whatever. So I've already got your Tomcat server, and that means I can upload my web shell and...
Wait, upload your web shell? Come on. Definitely, this is, of course, anomaly. And in this case, I'm receiving two alerts. One for the incident and response part, that's the endpoint part of it, and another one from the analytics, for the network side of it. And you know what, Jen? Of course, I have my MISTO playbooks already in motion, so I'm sorry, but my automation has stabbed you.
You know what? I really don't like you so much right now. All right, well, now, what are you going to do with all the free time you have on your hands?
Given the fact that you were talking before about Bora Bora, I was thinking about going to Bora Bora.
That does sound awesome. I think a nice vacation is in order, but realistically, I think we have to look at it from a different perspective. Attackers aren't stopping. Attacks are getting more complex, TTPs are getting more sophisticated. So what we really need to do to keep technology and our workforce at pace is your team and my team, the blue team and red team, we need to work together closely so we can mature a proper purple team approach. And I've got another great idea. You know that proactive threat hunting service that you've been talking about forever but never had time to get off the ground? Well, now you should have that time to work with the threat intel team to do it.
Wow, point on you again, Jen. Yeah, as SOC engineer, really these are the kind of programs that they always want to invest their time, given the fact that we have this challenging threat space, which is evolving so fast. So these are the kind of programs where the SOC engineer wants to invest their time. So that's perfect. Nevertheless, we also need to take into consideration that technology can really complement the life of everyone, of course, also of a SOC engineer, but can never be the end or be all. We, as organizations, need to put in place all the technology processes and all the people to intentionally find what has to be found. And with this thought in mind, passing it back to Christian. Thank you, folks.
Thank you.